Friday, everyone. It's Eric here with weather for Weather Geeks. No shortage of things to talk about yet again this evening as we head into the weekend. We've raised our high temperature forecast for Saturday, probably breaking yet another record. But first, let's talk about precipitation. You've seen me mention this a few times in recent days, but an unusually dry and sunny month of March and similar weather in early April has parts of the region technically now in a moderate drought. It's pretty dry in a lot of yards, especially in the northern part of our television viewing area. We could use some wet weather. We got a little bit last night. Before midnight, we picked up 0.07 at the airport, and at the airport just after midnight, 0.05. Most of those showers faded away pretty early on. This morning, some other rain gauge numbers, generally a tenth of an inch, 2/10 of an inch, pretty much was it. A couple of heavier rain gauge numbers here. Newton Falls at about 1/3 of an inch, and similar numbers as you head up towards the Ashtabula-Trumbull County line near Orwell. No wet weather for most of us during the daylight hours today, as clouds gradually broke for a decent amount of afternoon sun. As expected, a pleasant afternoon. No record warmth today, but still we made it into the mid-70s this afternoon with a very nice-looking sky out there for much of the afternoon. As of this recording, a little before 6:30, a dying line of showers moving across I-71. Now, there was actually a decent amount of lightning and thunder with this earlier between Dayton and Columbus, but this is kind of petering out as it moves through central Ohio. I'm expecting us to stay dry through the overnight tonight. Severe weather concerns ongoing across the southern plains, parts of the deep south, and parts of southern Virginia and North Carolina this evening, but all of that is out of our region. It's going to stay dry into most of Saturday. Most of the daylight hours will be just fine, and actually temperatures will be off to the races, despite some gradually thickening high cirrus clouds in the afternoon. We should have no trouble getting into the upper 70s, even lower 80s. The record high tomorrow is 80 degrees, and I have us now besting that by at least a degree, if not 2 or 3. Could be very similar to yesterday. The rain, a little slower on the modeling today compared to the last couple of days, so I've removed rain chances from the daylight hours Saturday. A period of rain does seem pretty likely, though, as we go into the evening. This is the SPC outlook for severe weather tomorrow into tomorrow night. It has almost all of Ohio in the low end, 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather. I'm not real impressed with the severe weather risk. Could there be some loud rumbles of thunder for a couple of hours tomorrow evening? Yeah. Maybe some briefly gusty winds, but strong damaging winds, large hail, not especially likely at this point, but stay tuned. We'll be fine-tuning that forecast over the next 24 hours, but at this point, I don't think it's much of a real big concern. Now, as we head into the overnight tomorrow night into Sunday morning, the rain tapers off to nothing more than a couple of showers around. Best part of Sunday will be the morning and midday. I think there'll be some sunny breaks and probably dry weather, but then clouds will rotate back in for the afternoon. Now, the model here is probably a little overdone with its depiction of the amount of showers by Sunday evening. I think this is a little overdone, but could there be a shower or a sprinkle? Yes. Will it feel pretty chilly outside by late in the day on Sunday? You bet. After highs in the lower 80s Saturday, an evening or dinner time temperature Sunday of around 57, 58, that's going to feel pretty chilly. Now, a couple weeks ago, that would have felt pretty nice, but now we've gotten used to the warmth, and so 23 or 24 degrees cooler Sunday evening is going to feel quite a bit different. I think Monday's going to be a decent day with a mix of sun and clouds. We'll get into the upper 60s on Monday, still almost 10 degrees above average, but then, yeah, the cooler air will gain a foothold by midweek. Our in-house model is this kind of turquoise or blue line. It's going a little bit nuts. I think that's an outlier. As far as rainfall totals this weekend, our other models are more tightly clustered down here. Generally, I think 1/3 to maybe 1/2 inch worth of rain. Most of this coming Saturday evening. So here's the weekend forecast. 81 Saturday, 63. That's kind of an early afternoon high. Sunday, again, I think we're in the upper 50s by about dinner time. And definitely hoodie or jacket weather if you plan on being outdoors early Sunday evening. Also, maybe an umbrella needed with a passing shower or a sprinkle. No surprise here in the CPC 8 to 14 day outlook. If you've been following my thoughts on the longer range of late, I think, this 81 we're going to see tomorrow, probably the last 80 we're going to see for at least a couple weeks, perhaps all the way through the end of April and into early May. This is a pretty cool looking pattern. Now, we've run up the score a little bit as far as the warmth in the first 10 days of April. We're going to start eating away at some of the departures from average as we head into this pattern. But we've certainly run up the score, and so we're, at this point, way above the average so far in April, but we are not going to stay way above the average for all that long. Hope you have a good weekend, everyone. Make sure you're following the rest of our team on social media, including the Storm Tracker 21 accounts on Facebook and on Twitter. I'll chime in on social this weekend occasionally with some thoughts on the weather, especially as the rain and thunder approaches Saturday evening. In the meantime, enjoy your weekend. I'll see you back here on Monday.